Hey, shalom, one stop souls by giving no praise to Yahweh Hashem, Yahshua, Hashem, Mukak with Dash. Double honors to the apostles of GMS and honors to you brothers doing the work in truth, war, sincerity. I did this, tried to do this video yesterday. I sit and have it, recording was gone, there was no audio, no nothing. But actually start sitting those and, it's one of those ones where it's always now, I just always make sure the recording is actually recording. Right, that you're getting some audio in there, because sometimes you do a video and then your spirit's just flowing, and the spirit was flowing when I did it, so I was pissed when it didn't go through, but Lord's will, spirits with it again, right? But this is Deuteronomy 18 and 18, because I've been going through the scriptures, right? And basically, what one of the verses I came across was this verse, right? It's Deuteronomy 18 and 18 says, "I will raise them up a prophet from among their brethren, like unto thee, and will put my words in his mouth, and he shall speak unto them all that I should command him." Right. So I'm reading this, and I'm like, right, because this here is proof that everything that we say is of the Lord, right? Everything, you'll be at the camp, you'll be going into this topic. Right, then the Lord, might send a scoff, or might send someone diligent asking, or make you go into that way, or brother might, say a point, or, sometimes you just get directed, but everything that is said at the camp or in a video, that is of the Lord. Why? Because you read the scriptures, right, everything is in the hand of the Lord, right? What was that one in, was it Proverbs 21 and 20, was that? I was trying to remember where it is. Man. Can't think of the one I'm looking for. Let me find it this way. You get old. Right, well, for instance, you got this one, Job. This is the one I wanted. Proverbs 20 and 24 says, "Man's goings are of Yahweh. How can a man then understand his own way?" Right. The Lord, you think I'm going to go do this, I'm going to go do that, but it's the Lord that directeth your steps. I've got James in here. Let me get James as well. This is James, where is it? 4 and 10. Bear with me. What was it? Yeah, verse 15. Select says, "For that ye ought." This is James 4:15 says, "For that ye ought to say, if Yahweh will, we shall live and do this or that." Right, and that's the point. We shall live. Paul, too long ago, actually gave examples. You got guys that say, "I want to go do this, I want to go do that," not knowing that the Lord has a death angel just there waiting to take them out before they even, accomplish anything that they, that they mean to do, right? And you got my other favorite one, this topic of free will, around how it's the Lord that really directs everything. So Job 33:15 says, "In a dream, in a vision of the night, when deep sleep falleth upon men, in slumberings upon the bed, then he openeth the ears of men and sealeth their instructions," right? That he may withdraw man from his purpose and hide pride from man. Yeah, because man will say, "Yeah, I'm going to go do this, that, and the other." Right, and you would think he did it himself, but no, it's the Lord that directs you, and he puts you on certain paths. Like, for instance, you get when I used to be into music, I put a keyboard in front of me, I couldn't do shit. I got Logic installed on this laptop, man. It's this one here, right? But I ain't opened that in months, right? Even because that's not my role, that's not my lot on this. My lot is to be a prophet. Not no superstar musician, right? But for instance, when I used to be into the music a lot, right? For instance, one time I was making a track, and I'm basically just playing a little guitar solo, quote unquote, but on the piano, right? Because I was just a piano man, and the guy that I was with, he just for some weird reason was just playing with the I forgot the name of the knob, but it's on the left hand side of the piano that changes the pitch of the key. He just played it, you pushed it right on cue, and at first we're like, "Yo, man, what you doing?" But it comes, find out we played it back. It's like, "Yo, that's bad," right? And there were several instances of that when you're doing X, Y, and Z, and then you're just there like, "Shit, how did I even think of that?" or you know, you might have put a certain riff in something. You're like, damn shit, right? And then you come into this, you know, the understanding of the word, right? And you realize it's inspiration. You look up this word inspiration here. Actually, we'll look it up here. Inspiration, bam, opens up. Right, it says circa 1300 etymonline.com. Immediate influence of God. Right, I won't read or a God, but it's immediate influence of God. Right, we jump down. The sense evolution seems to be from breathe into and to fuse animation and influence, thus affect, rouse, guide, or control. In fact, no, that's not the point I wanted. I wanted to hit the point. Which call it here. It says blow into, breathe upon, figuratively inspire, excite, inflame from in, and then spirare to breathe. Right, see spirit. Right. So when we say, yeah, you know, all in the spirit, you know, you hear brothers when they're teaching in the video and say, hey man, that's the spirit. Right, because the spirit flows. You know, one brother will be saying one thing, another brother will come in, or vice versa, or the spirit will, you know, will make a revelation. You know, whilst in the middle of a video, there'll be times you basically be saying, you be talking the video, and you're like, something will click elsewhere. Right, spirit may be having you break down one thing, but it gives you greater understanding of something completely different. Right. Or maybe allows the brother to see something in a way that he's not seen it before, even allows you to break it down in a way you've not been able to do before. Right? It says, and it's back in Deuteronomy 18 and 19, and it shall come to pass that whosoever will not hearken unto my words, which he shall speak in my name, I will require it of him. But the prophet which shall presume to speak a word in my name, which I have not commanded him to speak, or he that shall speak in the name of other gods, even that prophet shall die. For instance, you get a lot of prophets that be going, well, quote unquote prophets, coming in the name of Yahweh Hashem Yahushua, trying to say that the mark of the beast isn't the Marafadi Markache. Right? That's you know, that is, you know, those guys are taken away from the scripture. They're changing the doctrine and they're causing men to err. Right? They're causing you know, men to die, because you get people in that time, right, when they get tested, because it is referred to as the time of Jacob's trouble, right? You get men that are tested, and then what's going to happen? Back in mind, they're thinking, well, you know, yeah, you know, this camp said it's not the mark of the beast, so fuck it, I'll just take the chip, you know, because you know, maybe GMS was wrong and that camp was right, right? But those guys are gonna have to pay for that, right? So I carry on and say it. And if thou say in thine heart, how shall we know the word which Yahweh hath not spoken? When the prophet speaketh in the name of Yahweh, if the thing follow not, nor come to pass, that is the thing which the Lord Yahweh hath not spoken. But the prophet hath spoken it presumptuously. Thou shalt not be afraid of him. Right? So we be saying certain things. We say, yo, you know, hey, slut. The apostles have been, you know, bringing down certain revelations, right? And we, you know, we've learned from the apostles, right? And you know, we be professing what it is that we have learned, right? Some of the things, like I said, the RFID chip is the mark of the beast. For the longest time, you had all these guys scoffing. They be saying this, they be saying that. But as the apostles who have been saying, you know, those guys ain't really scoffing about the mark of the beast ever since really last year, when you had a lot of things coming out about the RFID microchip, right? And what is that as well? That allows us to jump onto Ezekiel 33:33, right? It says, when this comes to pass, lo, it will come. Right, believe it, yeah, so had it, yeah. It says Habakkuk 2 and 3. It says, for the vision is yet for an appointed time, but at the end it shall speak and not lie. Though it tarry, wait for it, because it will surely come, it will not tarry. Right? So these prophecies, they may seem like they're taking a while to come, but they will come. Right? Because the Lord hath spoken it, the Lord has said something's gonna happen, it's gonna happen. Right? This is Isaiah 55 and 11. It says, so shall my word be that goeth forth out of my mouth. It shall not return unto me void, but it shall accomplish that which I please, and it shall prosper in the thing whereto I send it. So if the Lord says something's going to happen, it's going to happen, right? So when it says, Lord will come, it may look like it's taken a while to come, right? But these things are going to come to pass, because they're prophesied to come to pass. It says, then shall they know that a prophet hath been among them, right? Allowing us to go back here, right? So when these things come to pass, they ain't gonna be no, oh, were these guys right? Oh, is it this? Is it that? Oh, is America Babylon? Will America be destroyed? All of those questions, right? They ain't gonna be, what do you call it? They ain't gonna be, they're gonna be like, oh shit, right? They're gonna be like, oh shit, those guys were right, and then now it's too late for them, right? Let me get this in Isaiah, I was at 6 and 9. Right, it says, and he said, go and tell this people, hear ye indeed, but understand not, and see ye indeed, but perceive not. Make the heart of this people fat, and make their ears heavy, and shut their eyes, lest they see with their eyes, and hear with their ears, and understand with their heart, and convert and be healed. So the Lord himself doesn't want a whole load of people to get this truth. Right, we've been out there, and people just ain't getting it. Right, they be saying, oh, you're wrong, you're this, you're that, you're this, you're that. Right, but then guess what it says? Verse 11 says, then said I, Lord, how long? And he answered, until the cities be wasted without an inhabitant, right, and the houses without men, and the land be utterly desolate. Right, so basically these guys ain't going to get it until it's too late, man. Right, they're going to understand that the ICBMs are in the scripture when the ICBMs are coming up to them. And why is that? Because the Lord has set up his men to go out and to prophesy and to be speaking all of these prophecies, man. Right, so that the people know when these things come up to pass that it was Yahweh that sent them, which is why the name is important. Right, which is why the name is important. So when these things come up to pass, they can't say, oh yeah, it was Allah. They can't say, oh yeah, it was Buddha. They will know it was Yahweh Bashem Yahushua, which is a beautiful thing. Right? It says every knee shall bow, man. And that's our role of being out there, so we can prophesy these things. Say, look, man, it's written in the Bible, right? And the name of the Lord is Yahweh, and the Son's name is Yahushua. And then when these people see these prophecies coming to pass, they're going to be like, oh shit. Just like Rahab the harlot. Rahab the harlot was like, look, man, we've heard what the Lord did. Right, we heard. I don't know, where's right, it says Joshua 2 and 10, for we have heard how Yahweh dried up the water of the Red Sea for you when ye came out of Egypt. What ye did to the two kings of the Amorites that were on the other side Jordan, Sihon and Og, whom ye utterly destroyed. Right, and as soon as we heard these things, our hearts did melt, neither did there remain any more courage in any man because of you. For Yahweh, your power, he is the God in heaven above and in earth beneath. Right, so in that day there isn't going to be any, like I said, any Allah or Buddha or whatever. Everyone's going to, or even Jesus and Christ. Right, they're going to know, right, that it's Yahweh Ba'Hashem Yahushua. Right, because like I said, Rahab the harlot was like, look, man, we heard what the Lord did. Right, hey, Egypt was a great deliverance, right? But this deliverance is going to be even greater. This is Jeremiah 16:14. Says, therefore, behold, the days come, saith Yahweh, that it shall no more be said, Yahweh liveth, that brought up the children of Israel out of the land of Egypt. Right? So basically saying, alluding to the fact that this new deliverance is going to eclipse the old one. Right, sort of like, you might have a car, yo, that's the best car, and then also, oh shit, no, that's the best car, right? And you read the scriptures, oh, Yahweh that led the children of Israel out of Egypt. You read that a lot, right? But then it goes on to say, but it says, no more shall it be said, Yahweh liveth that brought up the children of Israel out of the land of Egypt, but Yahweh liveth that brought up the children of Israel out of the land of the north. Right, it's talking about America, which is geographically north, and from all the lands whither he had driven them. Right, so basically giving you the understanding that the children of Israel are scattered throughout all the world. Right, it says, and I'll bring them again into their own land that I gave to their fathers. Right, it's basically saying this new deliverance is going to completely eclipse the old one. Right, it's Ezekiel 36. What do I want? Is it 24? Right, it says Ezekiel 36, and I'm going to start from verse 21. It says, but I had pity for mine holy name, which the house of Israel had profaned among the heathen, whether they went right. Hey, we tell people we're the children of the Lord, right? We'll be out there on Oxford Street saying, look, man, we're the children of the Most High. We're the Most High's chosen, right? And then, those same people, they'll be like, what, you mean you guys? I mean, I was just reading the news. I was saying, you lot are killing each other. You lot are throwing acid in each other's face. You lot are doing this. You lot are doing that. Right? We're all into all manner of... Hey, Jake is wicked, man. Jake is wicked. I remember I was on my Twitter just scrolling, and I know usually if it's sensitive content, Twitter will block that shit, right? But I'm just scrolling, naively scrolling, right? And I was like, what is? I basically see a Jake putting his legs up in the air and some woman going down, but it wasn't even going down, just going down to lick his ass, man. I was like, what the fuck is going on? I was pissed. I was like, yo, Twitter, what the fuck? Right? But that's where Jake is nowadays, man. Jake is completely through. Right, I spoke to one of my cousins. When I'm speaking to them, and she's telling me stories about how one of the guys that she's cool with, or whatever, right? He was like, he doesn't deal with women unless those women lick his asshole. And you're just there like, oh man, Jake is through. Back in the days, you could say, nah, only white people do that shit. But now Jake be doing this old same wicked shit. Right, you go to, hey, the other day, we was going into, yesterday, in fact, the Arkham were going into, violence, the most dangerous cities in the world. Most of them were Latin America, man. I think all of them were in the Americas by like 4 or something, which was South Africa, as in the country South Africa, right? But like 46 were in the Americas, the majority of which was in Latin America, and maybe a couple, cities in the USA, right? So we've profaned the name of the Lord, right? So therefore say unto the house, back in Ezekiel 36:22, therefore say unto the house of Israel, thus saith Yahweh, right? I do not this for your sakes, O house of Israel, but for mine holy name's sakes, which ye have profaned among the heathen whither ye went, right? And that's one of the ways he's doing that, by getting his men out there on the streets, putting his words into them, right? And then using them to prophesy unto the people, so that when this thing happens, right, it's the Lord's name that gets reverenced, right? So yeah, I got that, had that. We got back in, so got into all of that. Amos 3:7. So surely Yahweh will do nothing, but he revealeth his secret unto his servants the prophets, right? So the Lord will put the Spirit on you, right, to get certain understandings, to get, because the scriptures talk about how it's the Lord that giveth the increase, right? So for instance, but one of the brothers made this point about how one brother may not watch a certain video, right? And then, other brothers will watch the video, and then maybe a year down the line, they say something that was, spoken about in that video that one brother didn't watch. And then that brother hears about it, several months later than everyone else. Because, that's just the way the Lord had it set up for that guy. Maybe not get certain understanding up until later on. Right? But when we're out there, well, we're teaching everything that we've been, We've been teaching everything that we've been taught. Right, we're not adding or taking away from the scriptures. Hey, but Apostle Gabar made a whole series, the nastiness of the scriptures. People don't want to go into certain parts of the scriptures. Right, you have Christians, you ask them about Judges 19, and they I remember one of my one of my uncles. He was like, "Nah, I don't fuck with the Bible." Or there's a story, Judges 19. I'm like, "Hey, man, it is what it is. It's just in the scriptures. That did happen." Because why Jake once again were being wicked, man? Right. So 2 Timothy 3:16 says, all scripture is given by inspiration of the Most High and is profitable for doctrine, for reproof, for correction, for instruction, and in righteousness. Right? So what we do now is we don't write, but we have e-epistles, as the term the apostles like to use, e-epistles, right? Where, we'll be on the camera, we'll be, on the phone or on the laptop, whatever, right? Going into certain scriptures, going into things, right? And then, And when we're doing that, that's by inspiration of the Most High. Right? Because the Most High directs our mouth. Like, people think we talk out of our ass. We're not talking out of our ass. It's the Spirit, man. The Spirit is the one that allows us to go into certain things, to break down. It's just all the Spirit. This is Isaiah 30:8. It says, now go, write it before them in a table, and note it in the book, that it may be for the time to come, forever and ever. Right? And once again, right, you read certain accounts, and you read the scriptures. You be like, hey, the Lord said, hey, write it in a book, whatever, what have you. All those things are by inspiration of the Most High, right? And then you'll be there, and you'll be, in old days, the scribe will be writing it down, but now it's It's the It's these e-epistles where we don't necessarily write things down. We do videos, right? And once more, there'll be certain times where you'll know a certain breakdown, but you'll hold your tongue, right? Because you know it may be too deep for an individual, or may not be pertinent to what you're teaching, right? Because you had times like that when angel will be like, yo, I'll give you this revelation, but don't write that down, right? Just write all of this other stuff down. Right, so Matthew 8:10-18 says, and ye shall be brought before governors and kings for my sake, for a testimony against them and the Gentiles. But when they deliver you up, take no thought how or what ye shall speak, for it shall be given you in the same hour what ye shall speak. For it is not ye that speak, but the Spirit of your Father which speaketh in you. Right? So it's the Spirit of Yahweh which is speaking through us, man. Right, so these guys, like I said, they don't want to hear, they don't want to take heed to what we're saying. You're warning these people because that's what we've been commanded to do. Hey, too bad on them. It's on them. Right, Romans 3:3 says, for what if some did not believe? Shall their unbelief make the faith of the Most High without effect? And the answer is no. Right? 2nd Ezra 15:3 says, fear not the imaginations against thee. Let not the incredulity, and that word incredulity is disbelief, of them trouble thee. Right, that speak against thee. Right, so you have people that don't believe us. Right, we went into certain things, certain topics. Right, and people had issues with it. But too bad. That's too bad on them. Right, it says, let not the incredulity. So, and the apostles once again spoke on it. You know, you get guys that are getting disheartened because of all of these scoffers. No, don't get disheartened because of these scoffers. This was prophesied. Right? This is 2 Peter's 3:3. So I'm a hotspot at the moment. Internet's a bit shit. As 2 Peter's 3:3, it says, knowing this first, that there shall come in the last days scoffers, walking after their own lusts. Right. So going back to what it says, fear not the imaginations against you, let not the incredulity of them trouble thee. Right. So don't let the disbelief of the people in the world trouble you, man. Don't get disheartened. Don't be like, but why? Because it's fulfillment of prophecy, as we just read here in 2 Peter 3:3. Right, so Lord's will you were edified, and till the next time I'll say shalom.